You're the boss. Okay.
I am doing pretty well today. Thank you. I am utilizing they, them pronouns for my own nefarious purposes. And they are nefarious. Usually. Not really. I'm kind of boring. But I like to say nefarious. Because, some of us exist as savage heathens.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do about it.
Yes, I am Context Wrench, otherwise known as M. I utilize most of the pronouns because why not? But generally landing in the land of she, her. And I agree with Joey, nefarious is a good word. And if you're a godless heathen, why would you want to change?
I just realized that. Wait, no, say something.
Saying something.
Okay, it was just me that nobody could hear.
No.
Okay. Hey.
Ozma's still in charge. It's fine.
Hi, Ozma In The Dark here, utilizing she, they pronouns for distorting reality is what I said. So, yeah, so, and everyone else introduce themselves. So the gist of this is I can't shows like this generally work best if someone has less of an issue with one of the things. The problem is I don't think either me or Christy is necessarily the best with regards to getting guests and topics. And I just can't. I think what was it? Rhett and Link's Good Mythical Morning. They said they wouldn't have been able to last more than a year or whatnot if they tried to do everything on their own. And like, content warning, with regards to death, which will get brought up somewhat in this. I'll give you like 5 seconds before stuff goes bad. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So like originally we tried to deal with this. Context wrench, we got you as producer and then your life fell apart. Or fell apart shortly before that. And then things just spiraled worse and worse and worse.
Yes.
Tried to ask Sophia after Sophia had passed away.
But you didn't know she'd passed away, so it's yeah.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know she had passed away, but like still, and a lot of the other people I asked weren't interested or whatever. So yeah, and as much as I can deal with my anxiety, so like hosting shows, talking out loud, less of an issue. Technical stuff is whatever. Most technical stuff I can do, easily. I can do like half the technical stuff in my sleep because I've been doing it for like 3 years or whatnot, and I've gotten better with the technical side of things. Thumbnails I can also make really quickly. The biggest issue is contacting people I don't know, finding people to contact, coming up with topics if they don't have a topic. All that stuff is just, I can't.
Yeah.
It's just, it was always hard for me, and I've had more and more trying to address life stuff and get my life to some degree of okay. I'm just realizing I didn't even like remember to I normally do the virtual background, so you get to see, well, not a ton of a mess of a room, but like it's not in a great position. But yeah, it's just between disability waiver and surgeries and the fact that even without those, I would just be stressed out too much. Way too much. With regards to this show. But that being said, it is a collaborative show. And Christy does have a passion for it. I just can't do the one of the, or a couple of the aspects that I normally did. And so things need to be retooled for things to show up again, or for the show to show up again. And
or to be regular.
Yeah.
And to be fair, when I volunteered to step up, I had every intention of taking a lot of that stuff off your plate, and a bunch of stuff not only happened in my world, but with the loss of like a relatively centralized platform on which to contact people, the current name of which I will not say. It used to be bird related. It no longer officially is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Given the loss, the functional loss of that, and the lack of a centralized alternative, that further complicated things on my end, at least, because I don't have a large network of people that are sort of relevant to this kind of stuff that I don't already know outside of the show. So I was not able to be the type of help that I intended to be. And then the tools that I expected to be able to use to do the things that I wanted to do became less effective. So, yeah.
Yeah, and once I feel confident, I can set up my priorities have changed. So once I feel confident, I can set up a system, or that my system is working or whatever with regards to getting a certain amount of cleaning done, then I will probably start doing videos on my main channel, because that's a completely different thing. I don't know if there's no guests to worry about, and I can do that, or plan to, but like I don't have a set date for that, and I might do it occasionally just cuz. But like so I at the very least will not disappear from the internet. I know, Joey, you're on Social Justice Alchemy a lot,
and the Kama Sutra scholar.
yeah.
So it's not like I'm going anywhere. And I don't know what I'm doing with the show. aside from this sounded like something that would be cool
Well, I
and
mean,
fun.
I mean, to be fair, that was I get that was, I assume that was essentially perfect reason. So the perfect co-host position was just someone else to talk with as well. Well, I mean, to some degree. Okay, so originally perfect was like to have an outside view to talk with. The thing is, the show has drastically changed since then. Because I think I was still, like at the start of the show, I had more debate bro energy near the start. And yeah, it's just the show shifted because that format can't really work.
Well, it's
Or
I-
not
I-
not
it's
for
not
this
like-
type of show.
yeah, it's not really sustainable for this kind of vibe. The irony being, perfect, even though he was sort of an outsider, he was still a disabled Indigenous person. So, like, I mean, outsider, yes, but also he knew how to sort of see from multiple perspectives. So, you know, that was different, but still very like integrated at the same time. I was going somewhere else with that and it left my brain. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
that's
might
okay.
be neurodivergent, and by might be, I mean totally am.
There has never been a non-neurodivergent. There's never been a neurotypical host on this.
I mean, why?
I'm not even sure there's been a neurotypical guest.
There might we might have had one or two neurotypicals just, you know, to throw them a bone, but
Uh,
not
Fuck.
very many.
yeah, no, it wouldn't surprise me if the guest who shall not be named was neurotypical.
That doesn't count.
Fair.
They were their own thing.
Yes.
But I mostly wanted to thank you, Ozma, and Joey, and everybody involved with the show at various levels for putting up with me for as long as you have, because I've been in the peanut gallery yelling about stuff subtly and then not so subtly from the beginning, and I appreciate.
Well, just because you were in episode 0.
Yes, which I will continue to wear as a badge of honor. that I was in an episode that no longer exists. And that one of the guests was really salty, which was funny.
Yeah, look, I learned how to do. I learned some of the YouTube stuff in the naive way in terms of just a not great person who had some talent in terms of hosting stuff, but not all the decision making was good decision making. And I'm certainly glad I've improved and sorted out my own thing. But yes, so long as Christy wants the show to continue and we figure this stuff out, the show should stay on. But that is going to depend on how quickly retooling takes, and I don't know. But yeah, I will still be I will actually be making content. Maybe at some point I will use some amount of like technical skill again, like the one time I did that. Sorry, not to look, I maybe did there was a video in terms of being in two places at once, which I was happy about the technical side of things because I tried hard and did a technical thing. And
I mean, you normally use a green screen, so that is a degree of technicality.
what?
You typically use a green screen, so that's a technical level.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't have like a functional green screen. I did the way they used to do it in like the 90s. I essentially did that because it's not like complicated. Yeah, and I had to like put my I still think it's funny that I had to put my laundry basket in like a part of the camera to hide the split. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else to say about that. How's everyone's day going? I know that it's gonna be short, but like, is everyone having a good time?
Yeah, I was actually saying earlier, today's actually a pretty good day. I have a surgery date for my back. So they're going to try to repair things in there by fusing things, apparently. And the doctor thinks that this should take like 75-80% of my pain away, which would be like near miracle. Like there's so much I want to do. Like I'm anxious, I'm excited. I'm also nervous because it's surgery. I've got to recover for a couple of days afterwards there in the facility, and then they'll allow me home, but I have to have 24 hours of supervision when they let me go.
Okay, so it's not the most complicated surgery, but definitely you're under long enough for them to have to do that. I can't remember. I don't remember what the specs are for that, but I know Because, like, breast expansion surgery, I didn't need to stay in the hospital overnight because it was simple enough. I must not have needed to be under long enough for that to be bad, but, like, yeah. Also, yeah, no, I hope you can have surgery thing to remove pain. Removing pain is a better reason for surgeries than, you know, let's say desperately trying to make it so someone can walk despite the potential pain or risk of complications.
Don't
Right.
sign kids up for experimental procedures. It's not a great
Well,
plan.
so I'm aware of this is like something that they do pretty regularly. So
Yeah. No, you're probably in very good hands.
Yeah.
The likelihood of things going reasonably well for you are pretty good odds, so that's a good thing. I have survived most of the day and I currently have coffee, so those are both tiny wins for now.
I hear that coffee is a good thing.
Coffee prevents homicide.
I agree.
I'm just here drinking water.
I will
Well,
drink the coffee, it's fine.
I've got water now, but I just got finished having a Mountain Dew, so I add some caffeine
Yeah.
I mean, a tiny
on top
amount
of my coffee, because I also had my coffee this morning.
Okay, but that was hours and hours ago. I mean, it
Exactly.
might have been yesterday.
Exactly. I think I'm trying to think. What else to say about this? Because I don't. Because we don't have a plan yet, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I will still show up somewhere. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention. I can't remember if I've mentioned this before, but like Twitch has just dropped much lower in terms of priorities because like you can't really build a following on Twitch as easily. And if I don't have a following somewhere else, it's like hard to have much of an audience on Twitch. And so I mean that's basically it. That's the reason why it's lower in priority. It's actually below practicing League of Legends in terms of priority. Which practicing League of Legends has dropped a lot in terms of priority. Making sure I have a plan to learn Spanish is higher priority than practicing League of Legends.
I keep thinking I should learn Spanish. I did okay in French, and that's a Romance language. So,
Once again, another person who knows, I should I feel like I should know more French by this point in my life, considering both my sisters, my mom and my dad, and one of my sisters fiance knows French. And that fiance knows French because he's from France. I'm just...
If he was from France and didn't speak French, that would be a bit odd.
True. Um, that would be odd, but like, yeah. It's just, I've been working with Never Again Action, and I haven't even been working that much with, or I haven't, there hasn't been as much going on as I had hoped for, but I help when I can. Or whatnot. Anyways, yes.
When you can matters too.
What?
When you can matters also.
Yeah, but like, immigration justice is something I care about, and so I should at least learn Spanish because it's just more and more awkward if I don't.
That's a good reason to have to learn the language.
Yeah. Yeah, Spanish is the top of my priority, then French, then ASL. I like, I want to learn ASL. I should learn ASL in general. It's conceptually potentially would have been easier for me to learn than English. Because it just, I don't know, ASL just seems like something that makes sense or whatever from what little I've practiced of that. But like, yeah, it's just, there are two languages that I'm more likely to end up using on a day-to-day basis. Or if not a day-to-day basis, like more consistent basis. Oh, also both my parents speak Spanish as well. So like it's yeah.
I used to speak a little bit of French and a little bit of German.
Yeah. Yeah, any last thoughts about retooling?
If you want to think about maybe developing a panel show without focusing on guests, and maybe instead of it being a weekly show, being more of like a bi-weekly or a monthly thing, that could be an option if you were interested in that. Just something to consider, perhaps. Don't know.
Yeah, no, that is a
I don't
good
know
idea.
if I could come up with a year's worth, but I also know a couple people that could be interviewed for different reasons.
Yeah, I can't.
Interviews are great when you can get them, but when you feel like you like that they should be the goal instead of like a bonus, it can get stressful if you don't have a whole stable of people to pull from.
I totally get that.
Yeah,
Because
and
I'd run out of people to interview for various reasons.
yeah, that's something we can probably bring up later with Christy or whatnot, in terms of just, I don't know, having something that's like a different show title that would also appear on this channel. So that would also work fine. Although yeah, we'll talk about that more.
Right. I'm not trying to pressure any decisions or anything. I just want to, make it clear that, keep watching the space, watch the community tab, whatever, and special events might pop up from time to time, even
Yeah.
though there's not a foreseeable regular schedule planned going forward.
Yeah. Yes. I agree with I agree with those good ideas. I just obviously I've got nothing right this second, and I also don't want to I don't want to like completely copy Social Justice Alchemy, which shows up like just a few hours before, and also is a good show, just in terms of what's being talked about. Or
They are a good
that's
show.
something.
I don't think you could really copy them if you wanted to, not that you do, but like their vibe is very different than this show has ever been. And like and I love those people, obviously, but like the level of baseline, I don't know, confrontation that the regular hosts there tend to have, while perfectly appropriate, I don't think has ever been the vibe for here. And I like them,
More
but
so,
like,
well, I mean, maybe the first few episodes.
it doesn't count for other reasons.
I mean, fair.
Remember when you started with a different co-host who left for other reasons we won't fully discuss, and I was asked at a later point like what I thought of the show initially, and I was like, yeah, 3 out of the 4 co-hosts seemed really awesome. And then that 4th person left, and I was like, oh, this seems like a place I might hang out more. The person was really talented in some ways and not my cup of tea in others. Oh, some of the 3 people I really like, they're still doing this. Ah, okay.
Okay, well, there's not a lot of time left on Zoom, and I don't want to do any technical editing, so we'll talk more. I'll send you guys another link because I do want to keep talking with you. Just where can people find you guys, or anything you might promote? I know we kind of brought that up earlier, just I don't know, a quick something.
You can find me on the Kama Sutra Scholar, and Social Justice Alchemy, on occasion. Usually the Social Justice Alchemy is kind of a hit or miss with me because half the time I'm still trying to work on my coffee and I'm not ready to like talk. So
Fair.
but the Kama Sutra Scholar you can definitely catch me on. Usually I'm awake by then and ready to go. So, yeah, I did have fun in the short time that I got to be co-host with you.
Yeah, and we'll probably find something else will likely pop up. And also, like, I might want to do something with you later outside of this, or I might want to hang out sometime. Who knows? But before I say, well, I probably won't say more. Context, say the stuff quick.
Okay, I can be found in chat, also in Social Justice Alchemy and Kama Sutra Scholar, Aaron's channel. Also, I am wrenching multiple other places on the internet. If you ask nicely, I will answer most questions. I can be summoned either on Discord or most other places, again, if you ask nicely. And I look forward to working with Joey and Ozma and Christy and other people going forward. So watch this space. Thanks, everybody. Peace.
Yeah. Bye. Take care of yourselves. Yeah. Okay.